What's good, peeps? It's your boy Eduard Todor. You may have noticed I've missed 2 uploads this week, which hasn't happened since the beginning of the daily uploads. Usually if I miss a day, I do a double upload the next day or whatever. I haven't been able to do that because I'm so sick. I mean, you probably noticed I look like I've just come off an island, stranded, and had to survive for 30 days. You know what I mean? Haven't shaved, haven't done anything. But I'll still try to get this video out. Let's see how this is gonna go. I've actually had to write out all the names. I'm so loopy, I can't even remember the order of the names that I'm supposed to be talking about. But anyway, this video is about how I met Shin Lim, Colin, Rob Zabrecky, Hector Mancha, and Charlie Frey. Now, this was an experience. This was at the New Zealand Wellington Convention, Magic Convention. If you guys have not seen the video for that, I'll put the link in the description. Watch it, it's insane. There's no dislikes on it at all, which is crazy. But anyway, I'll kind of go through the list a little bit. So, Shin Lim, my first really experience with him was in his lecture. He went through throughout his whole 52 Shades of Red, I believe. That routine that he fooled Penn and Teller with, one of them anyway. And he kind of walked through it and basically showed exactly how it works. And it was my first time actually learning about it. You know, a lot of you guys were, in my previous videos, where I reacted to him, you guys were like, oh, it's, you should know this, blah, blah, blah. Well, now I know it, okay? And it's not something that I would ever use. It just doesn't work with anything that I would ever do. However, it's opened my mind to a lot of possibilities, right? A lot of them. I mean, again, you guys know I'm all into the impromptu stuff. I'm into the stuff that you can just pick up a pack of cards and go. But it has kind of got me thinking creatively in a sense, So that's what I picked up from Shin Lim, that creativity, like that for me, that was the biggest thing, because he doesn't really talk, right, in his act. So a lot of it is body language based, and which is, you can still deconstruct that, but it's less of a character and less of a, it's more magic oriented, which is pretty cool. Now the one thing I will say, okay, I'm going all over the place, but the one thing I will say about Shin Lim, I've said in previous videos that I do not like no talking acts. Okay, I've talked about this. I've talked about it a lot. I've said this and I still say this, okay? My reasoning for it was that I get super distracted, if it takes you, 15 seconds to wait for the music so you can turn over the card and reveal it, I'm getting bored, okay? Now, I did not consider in any way, shape, or form if that dynamic would change live. Because I went and watched the whole show, the magicians, all these people in the show, all right, all these guys did a crazy show. If it comes anywhere close to you, you need to go see it. It's insane, okay? But when I watched it live, I was so invested, okay? I was so in there. Like, the performance was all that mattered, and the music just fit, and so when I was there, even though I had already seen how it worked, I was more entertained than I've ever been watching it like online. So if you can get there live, I'm telling you, it increases the experience a lot. And I'm pretty much not going to talk shit about no talking acts anymore, because seeing it live really changed my perspective. Now, meeting Shin Lim was kind of crazy because he was so busy. Like, he was just did a lecture, quickly sold his products and left. Probably chilled out with his girlfriend for a bit, then had a show or rehearsal, then come back, in and out of the hotel, back to a show, back to a rehearsal. So, I mean, he was super busy. But I went up to him after the lecture, and I went to shake his hand, and he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, thanks for coming, dude," and he shakes my hand, right? And I was like, "Thanks for coming. Wait a minute, do you know who I am, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I do. I've watched your videos, right?" So this was, from the very get-go, this was crazy. Then he turns to Casey, his girlfriend, right, or fiance. I just remembered they're engaged now, right? It'd be really awkward if they're not. So someone confirm. He's like, "Casey, you remember this guy?" She's like, "Wait, who's this guy?" She's kind of like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, the video guy, the reaction guy. Cool, right? So they apparently knew who I was, right? But yeah, he was a super chill guy. From what I didn't really talk to him for that long, but he seemed like a super nice guy. Basically the way I assumed he would be, he was, right? Like the way you see him in his vlogs, that's just how he is, which is kind of like, us YouTubers kind of understand that you can't really fake it in front of the camera for that long. I mean, there's some dudes that do it and some people that do it, but you can kind of feel the authenticity, So Yeah, super cool guy. When he comes through to Auckland, because he's doing a tour of New Zealand, he's in New Plymouth right now. When he comes through to Auckland, we're gonna be hanging out. So who knows? Maybe a bit of content coming your way. I don't know. Stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be. You guys are gonna go crazy over that. But anyway, Colin Cloud. Okay, Colin Cloud was a character for sure. He's basically. I mean, his live performance skill is just insane. Like, you see him on America's Got Talent, everyone talks shit about him, but you don't really think about, like, they don't really think about how good he is at acting and how good he is at actually going on stage. And, you know, it really pisses me off when I see people just talking shit because they figured out a method, which is kind of the whole point of my channel, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so, you know, his live performance level is just insane. He had, I don't even want to spoil anything, but he had some crazy shit in there that, like, literally even I was, you know, I already knew the trick, but the kicker he had to it would just, like, floored me, right? So he's just insane. I ended up buying his book, which is some of his working routines right here. I don't even know if you can buy this anywhere else, but through his lectures, so I don't know, but, I'll be, definitely adapting some of that stuff into my shit. But yeah, he was a cool dude, and I went up to him, I talked to him a bit after. He obviously didn't know who I was. He's not really a YouTuber or anything. But, you know, he was super nice, super cool dude, you know. Again, they were so busy, I didn't want to, like, really hassle them and stuff. So I kind of just try to keep it low-key and just try, you know, I went up to him, I was like, dude, I'm a big fan, you know, love your stuff, all that kind of, you know, shit they hear all the time. So, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But nah, he was a super nice, super cool dude. You know, I didn't really talk to him that much, but from his lecture, man, his lecture was insane. You know, he had some routines he taught in the lecture, but really most of the things he talked about in the lecture was kind of coming up with your own thing. And you know, he would show you some examples of routines. I mean, of ideas he uses, some really ballsy shit. And then he would show you how to adapt them and kind of talk about the creativity aspect and the artistic side. And it was so cool. So cool. Definitely some stuff I'm going to be adapting into my shit from that lecture as well. Now, Rob Zabrecky was actually probably my favorite act that I've ever seen, almost. Like, in terms of a stage act, I mean, I don't know anyone that I enjoyed more than Rob Zabrecky. This guy was insane. I hadn't actually seen his Fool Us. I only realized that he was Fool Us after I came back, so I'm probably going to react to that, even though I probably know what he's going to do, because it's most likely part of his performance that I saw. But anyway, dudes, Rob Zabrecky is a genius. His acting, his character development is insane. The character that he portrays is constant, consistent. He doesn't break character ever. He's hilarious. He's the epitome of what I think is a successful mentalist in today's age, because I really don't think that, like, going the I can read your mind route works anymore. You know, I think especially as time will go on, I think these techniques are going to become more well known and more well known. So it's going to become more of a you know, entertainment and performance based art. Okay, and he has nailed it because he does mentalism very seriously through his character, but it's hilarious because his character takes himself. It's very interesting. You guys have to really watch him, but it's absolutely insane the way his character is built, and it's literally just entertainment. He takes the easiest, you know, the simplest routine and just creates a whole 10-minute routine that's just engaging and you know, Rob, insane. His lecture was all about acting. Literally, it was all about acting and creating a character. And so I got a lot of very useful feedback from that, very useful information. Definitely something I've been looking into and kind of thinking about what I want to be when I perform. I'm probably not going to go the whole different character route, but, you know, at the same time, it does help to kind of mold who you're performing as, right? Because one of his quotes that he said was, "A magician is just an actor acting as a magician." And that's a very, very interesting thing, and it's really gotten me thinking. Now, Hector Mancha, he's a beast. If you guys don't know who he is this guy right here. Let me see. Where's this thing? This dude right here. You might have seen him at some point. Man, this guy is a beast. He's like Grand Prix world champion. His stage show just had me fooled to the max, man. He had some crazy ass, like, you guys know, like, you know what I'm saying, this type of stuff where you're here and like that, and some guys can even, I can't even really do that well, but they can show face, back of the hand, front of the hand, then produce the card. Well, this guy was going like this. He was going like this, like this, like this, and then boom, a card would appear out of that hand. Like, just insane level shit, right? Now, sadly, if you guys have followed me on my Instagram, you might know I missed that lecture because I lost my microphone, so I was frantically running back and forth trying to see where it fell out of my bag. Didn't end up finding I had to buy a new one. Very expensive mistake. Really rough. Really, really rough. But what can you do? It's the name of the game. So that was Hector. And Charlie Frey was someone that I actually had no idea who he was. But he blew me away. Honestly, his magic was amazing. It's very 80s, kind of jazzy stage magic feel. That's the feel that he's going for. That's the feel that he has. But his juggling, oh my goodness, dude. Like, I've seen some jugglers, and I mean, I juggle a little bit myself, you know what I mean? So it's not like, I don't do like crazy stuff, but I can do more than a 3-ball cascade, let's put it that way, right? And this dude had the longest juggling act ever. It was like, I don't even know how long it was, but it felt like ages, and he didn't drop a single time, right? Like, most jugglers that I've seen will like drop once or something, and then they'll like have a fancy way of picking it up, and then they look like it was part of it. This guy did not drop at all, man. It was insane. It was absolutely crazy. So, I mean, his lecture was just him showing a bunch of the stuff he uses and just some random stuff he ended up laying around, some random ideas he's played with. It wasn't like anything that I could really, really adapt for myself. But just again, it sparked that creativity. It sparked that thinking outside the box. But yeah, that was my experience. I mean, these dudes were fire, absolutely fire. If you have a chance to go and watch this live show, see it live. It's worth it. I swear, it's worth it. Anyway, I'm about to go and I don't know, make sense of this footage that I just shot. I don't even know what I said. I'm that tired and sick. So, yeah, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe. I do daily videos. Follow me on the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the links are down below. If you want to support me on Patreon or you want to join the Discord and hang out, the links for those are down below as well. As always, mad respect, much love, stay lit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!